Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I am Sage, or Angela. You really can call me either. Um, Angela is my birth name, but a lot of people take sort of a magic name, um, and that for me is Sage. So that's why in some places you'll see my name is Angela, and in some places you'll see it as Sage. I'm okay with you calling me either one. What I wanted to do today is just make a video about the various decks I have available to me, to use for my clients and such. I want you to have an idea of like what I could be using. Obviously, I will tell you every time. I will show you the cards, both through a video and through pictures, but I think it's kind of cool to know up front. So, between me and my husband, because I use his too, we have 3 tarot decks, and we have 4 oracle decks. Now, if you go to my website, mysticmoonreadings.com, on the home page, there's actually an explanation of tarot versus oracle. What's the difference? Why are they 2 different things? Okay. So 3 tarot decks. Let's look at those first. My first tarot deck ever is called the Mystic Dreamers Tarot. Has a lot of very fantasy-ish looking cards. So this is the back of the cards. I got a little fuzzy about my mouth. Here's the back. So there's a lot of they look very fantasy. Kind of muted colors, no bright colors. Let me show you a few. Here is the Fool. Try to keep the light from being a glare on it so you can actually see it. Let's see. Here is the Sun. It's a very nice card as well. I like it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, the Moon. I like the wolf on it. It's very pretty. The Six of Wands. So you get kind of an idea. It's a fantasy style and in like muted colors. Like it's not really bright colors or anything. I love this deck. It was my first deck, like I said, and it is my go-to deck. Yeah, I use it a lot. My second deck that I got is a Gothic Tarot deck. I have it in a very cool little pouch that I got from a seller on Etsy. She is amazing. I will link her shop down below if you are curious. She has some gorgeous pouches for tarot and oracle cards. Or you can use them for other things like makeup bags or pencils and things like that. Pins. Who uses pencils anymore? The Gothic Tarot is, as you might expect, Gothic themed. There's actually quite a few Gothic Tarot decks out on the market. Here is the back. So just kind of a black and red theme. This deck also has very muted colors. There's a lot of blues, like a lot of blues. It's actually kind of unusual for a card to have colors other than blue in this deck. There are a few red, and then there's just some that are like gray. So like here's the Ten of Swords in this deck. Not much color going on there. Here is the Knave of Pentacles. So this is one of those blue ones I mentioned. A lot of them actually are blue. Let me see. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. So blue again, as I said. You can see the Hanged Man is kind of a more brownish color. You can see him there. Strength is another blue card. Everything is very Gothic, of course. There's a lot of skeletons. There's a few vampires. The Fool is one of the ones that's actually green instead of blue. There's also a lot of Egyptian elements in this deck, which I thought was really interesting. Like, this is the Nine of Cups, and that looks like an Egyptian sarcophagus. And if you look on each side of it, it's like hieroglyphics. And this is a depiction of Anubis, which is one of the Egyptian gods. This one, I can't remember what his name is. Anubis I know pretty well, but this one not as familiar with. So it's very interesting, I find. Here's one of the more red cards. This is Justice. She looks like she would go out and get some justice, right? So yeah, this is my Gothic deck. Very interesting. Doesn't have near the amount of imagery. Like a lot of times we will look at symbols and things on the cards, and this does not have a lot of that. For example, this is the Wheel of Fortune in the Gothic deck. Okay, really not much to look at, right? But I mean, I'm not saying it's not pretty. There's just not a lot of things to like say focus in on. Whereas the Wheel of Fortune in my Mystic Dreamers deck. Let me find it real quick. There's just so much more symbolism on these cards. And I love both decks, but it was hard for me to work with the Gothic deck, like when I first got it, because I was used to having so many more symbols and things, and I had to spend a little more time with my Mystic Dreamers Tarot, learning it more before I could really use the Gothic Tarot, since it has, you know, less symbols and things on it. You know, watch that Wheel of Fortune be like at the very other opposite side of where I started. That is how it's going to happen. You know that, right? 4? I missed it altogether. What is this? How did I miss it? I was looking for it. How do you miss the card you're looking for? Did I leave it in the box? Nope. Wheel of Fortune, where are you? It was the very first card. I can't. So here is the Wheel of Fortune in this one. So if you compare them, you can see this one has a lot more like symbolism and things for you to look at. You know, there's a sphinx, there's a girl, there's water. Actually, there's 3 women. I believe. No, I remember. Those are the 3 fates, is what they are. The fates from Greek mythology, which is kind of odd because there's a sphinx on top, which is Egyptian. And then around the wheel itself, you can see like the zodiac symbols and such if you look closely. There we go. This one obviously is much less to look at. So, as I said, took me a little longer to learn with the Gothic Tarot. I had to spend more time with my Mr. Dreamer's Tarot before I could use the Gothic Tarot. The third tarot deck is one my husband picked out, and I love this deck so much. I really do. It's called the Epic Tarot. Also fantasy themed, okay? Much more bright colors, though. Much more bright colors, no muted colors. This is the back of the deck. Very pretty. Very, very fantasy themed. Like, there's creatures that don't exist. Like, here is the 2 spheres, which I'll get into in a moment. See this little creature right here? This is nothing that actually exists in our world, right? It does change pentacles to spheres, which is not that common. Usually that suit is called pentacles or coins. I don't know how many other decks use spheres, but this one uses spheres. And then it also changes wands into books, okay? You can see down here, it actually is a picture of a wand on a book that they call a books. If you notice, this is a dragon. The suits in this deck, well, the suits I already talked about, but the court cards. So tarot, each suit goes 1 through 10, and then there's the 4 court cards. They're normally something like page, knight, queen, king. This deck is completely different. In this deck, dragons, such as this one, are king. So this is the dragon of books, would be somewhat equivalent to the king of wands in other decks. Let me find, here we go. Queens are phoenixes. Okay, so here's one of the phoenixes. You see this sword down here, so this is the Phoenix of Swords. So this would be fairly equivalent to a Queen of Swords in other decks. Knights are... Yes. No? Now I can't remember. I have to look at the book. which one is knights and which one is pages? Let me see real quick. I forget sometimes. No, I had it right. What? I just threw the book. Why did I doubt myself though? So this is a griffin, and griffins are the equivalent of knights. So you see here is a cup. In this deck they're actually called chalices instead of cups. That's fairly common though. It's an interchangeable word really. So this is the griffin of chalices, which would be equivalent to a knight of cups. Okay. And then last is the pages. Pages in this deck are unicorns. Let me find one to show you. Ah, here we go. So here is one of the unicorns or pages. Trying to keep the light glare off of it. You can see there's a sword down here at the bottom. So this is the unicorn of swords, or what would be equivalent to the page of swords in most other decks. You can also see with most of these cards I showed you, there's much brighter colors. Or much richer colors. I'm not necessarily going to say bright, because there's a lot of browns and such in it too, but they're very bright. They're not muted at all. Yeah, so I really love this deck. Very fantasy. Here's another one with a little creature that doesn't exist in the real world. This little creature right here holding a chalice. That's the 4 of chalices. So I really love this deck as well. I love using it. I love fantasy, and I love goth. I play video games. I am a fantasy video game player. Role-playing games are my thing. Alright, Oracle decks. Let's talk about Oracle decks. The first one I have is the Witch's Oracle. And I love this deck. I hear noises outside. Right outside my door. Oh well. Yes, I'm treating this video kind of like a vlog, because I do vlogs on a regular basis on my vlog channel called Vlogging with Migraines. And so that's really the type of video that I am comfortable with. It's just that kind of more relaxed and casual, like I'm just having a chat with you. Nothing really serious and formal. So that's how you're going to see me in these videos. I don't edit much. I have a fuzzy on my nose. Okay. Here's the book that comes with it. With Oracle decks, you pretty much always need the book. And it's going to be a pretty substantial book, because every Oracle deck is different. They all have different cards. They have a different number of cards. You need this to know what the cards mean. With the Witch's Oracle, every card is some sort of item or symbol that may be associated with witches in some way. This one's a Chinese dragon. I don't know how much that's associated with witches. But like, here we have a magic wand. Okay. Here we have the full moon. We have a dream catcher. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Ah, the Eye of Horus. That's Egyptian. Why do all these decks have something Egyptian in them? I'm okay with that. I'm fascinated by Egyptian culture, so you know, the old Egyptian history and pharaohs and all of that. So the back of the cards is pretty basic. It's a nice little design though. Has a little W on it for witch. These cards are shiny, so they reflect light and shadows so much more. It's harder for me to take a picture of these than other cards. Like when I do daily polls and such and take pictures of them to post on Instagram and on my blog, it's harder with this deck because they're so shiny. The next Oracle deck I got is called the Fairy Forest. This is the biggest deck I have. You can see this box is much bigger, and the cards are not much smaller than this. They are a little smaller, but not much smaller. This is obviously all fairy themed. And of course there's a book as well. Wait, stop it. And here are the cards. First, here's the back. I do love the back of these. It's very elfish to me and fairy-ish. So like you have a tree with a door in it. There's a little, I don't know what he is, but sitting up here, there's mushrooms, there's little sparkles, you know, fireflies or something. So it's really pretty. This is the back. And then all of the cards have a close-up like this. I'm trying to keep that glare off of it. of some sort of fairy type creature. So this is Frigga. She's called Frigga. This one is called She Who Laughs. Very pretty. You can see her wings. Here's one of the little more gothic styled ones, and I love it. It's called Otherworld. Very pretty. The Weaver. You can see like she has some, I would think those are moths in her hat, and there's like a spider web behind her. And we'll do one more. This one's called the Shapeshifter. Very pretty. I'm sure you've noticed the fantasy theme. I told you already, but I'm sure you noticed it. I do like fantasy very much. The next Oracle deck that I got is called Wisdom of the House of Night. So there's a series of books called House of Night. They're by PC and Kristen Cass, a mother-daughter. Cast, C-A-S-T. I didn't enunciate that T. And PC worked with Colette Baron Reed, who is responsible for another Oracle deck I have that I haven't shown you yet, to make this Oracle deck. So in the book series, the goddess Nyx is very prevalent. Okay, Nyx is from Greek mythology, basically the personification of night. This book is about vampires, and Nyx is basically their goddess. And she talks to them a lot. And the premise behind these is these cards are Nyx talking to you. So when you read the explanations in the book, it's like somebody speaking to you, you know, and instead of it being like a third person kind of thing, you know. It's actually written from, you know, as if she were speaking to you. Here's the little book. And here are the cards. I do love these cards. So the back has the triple moon symbol on them, as you can see. The sides are edged in silver. Gorgeous. I love this. And then there's, the cards are generally related to the book series. So like, new vampires are called fledglings. And this card is called the fledgling. This card is called Chaos. You can see the tornado on it. This card is called Success and has like a congratulations letter on it. This deck also has a little bit of skin showing. It's not like an erotic deck or anything like that, but like here's a shirtless guy, and it's called Oath. We'll look at one more. Oh, wait, I gotta show you this one because it's too cute. This one's called Playful. I think it's my favorite card out of the bunch. See the cute little kitty. I know. So, that is that Oracle deck. This is the most recent one I purchased. I think I got it just last week, maybe? I think. Seems right. Alright, last Oracle deck. This is one my husband picked out. Because he loves working with maps and such. Like when it comes to video games and things like that. So this is called the Enchanted Map Oracle. And again, it's this Colette Baron Reed. So it's set up very similar to the House of Night one. It's not from somebody talking to you, like the House of Night one is, but the cards look very similar. They're about the same size. They have rounded corners instead of the square corners of my House of Night. But otherwise, they're pretty similar. Here is the back. So it's a compass. Very pretty. And also, the edge of this one is gold. So the House of Night one is edged in silver. This one's edged in gold. So here are some of the cards in it. We have Deep Freeze. We have Home. We have Wizard of Awareness. Very pretty. We have Goblins. Goblins. Let's see. What's another one of the fun ones? There's actually a really cute one in here. I mean, there's more than one cute one, but there's one that I think is just adorable. So I'm going to try to find it and show it to you. It has two little creatures. I think it's healing is what it is. So many gorgeous cards. Oh, this is cute. It says heal the ouch, and it is a raccoon being a nurse for a fox. Is that not just adorable? That's just the cutest thing to me. Ugh, I'm a sucker for cute. Alright, that's my collection. So I choose, anytime somebody requests a reading from me, I choose which deck I feel best fits their question. And that's how I go. Alright, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask me. There's a contact form on my website, mysticmoonreadings.com. There will be a link below. And that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, month, year, everything. And I will see you next time. Blessed be.